You know what, Colby?
What's that, Barry?
I told you I'd find you. Try to do it in my voice, my best VD. Well, that doesn't sound right. VD voice. I still don't want to spoil
That's a
it.
website you got to pay for.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
Music.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second week of Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Even though we're not doing that movie, we have to do it in that song voice.
You have to.
Who did that song? Was it like Huey Lewis and the News? I just figured they did everything in the 80s. Them and Aha.
I'm not sure who did it. I should know.
You should know. You probably cosplayed as those guys.
That was my era. Like I was like, oh, this is the song that's on the radio before the movie came out.
Right? This came out in 85. I don't know how old you were at 85. Preteen?
I was barely preteen.
Okay, so it's a John Hughes movie. I didn't know it was a John. If I had known it was a John Hughes movie, I would have known. No boobs. It's just Kelly LeBrock back in that day.
Right.
Big hair.
Short shirt.
Always the shoulder exposed.
Yeah.
That was the ankles of the 80s.
Right. Would you wear no pants, but the leg warmers. So, like, you can't see her calves, but, like, everything else. Short shirts, short shirts, just like underwear. We'll call it like a bathing suit bottom or a workout outfit. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
But don't look at my calves.
Calves are very underutilized right now. So funny. Like, for some reason, Filipinos have, like, huge calves. I didn't know that was a thing until I started seeing it on TikTok. And then I looked at my calves and was like, yeah, my calves are impressive. So it shoulders all the burden of carrying this huge dick. Someone's gonna be like, "You're Filipino, bro. Not a huge dick." Sorry, it's mediocre at best. Before we introduce you guys to the movie, we have our first segment where I Dr. Seuss you a little thing. I say that enough times that Dr. Seuss' estate might be like, hey, you got to stop saying that.
Right. Yeah, we're going to have the cease and desist your podcast. Hey, that would get us some attention.
Right,
we would be on national news. Everybody would be like, who watches it?
I know, and then someone goes to make a compilation of all my little rhyme schemes.
Right, and you say it just different enough that they can make like a song out of it.
Yeah, so this one is a military vet revived in a strange place with nanobots in his body. What a strange case. Now, under RST as a $1 billion prototype, he all of a sudden recovers his memories of his murdered wife. So he kills the murderer, but was he truly got? Let's find out in 2020's Bloodshot.
You pulled that together at the end there. I like it. Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know if you've ever seen that video, but like there was like this guy, it's all skits on TikTok and all that stuff. But the guy was all like talking to his girlfriend, and he was like, "Oh, you mad?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm mad." She's like, "Are you mad?" She's like, "Are you stupid?" Like, you repeating it twice, you know? You got to clarify with guys, you know?
I don't know. Totally different, but it's kind of the same. There was this like horrible cartoon called Drawn Together, and Foxy was like the cat girl.
Yeah.
And she was the ghetto person in the house. Like it was supposed to be like a real world.
Yeah,
and each character was drawn by a different person, and they had a different,
very satirical.
Yeah.
Very caricatures of people.
And somebody was like, "For real?" And she goes, For real, not for play.
Right? You have to accentuate like a second time because it's like, I don't know if you're playing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and it's definitely is not for play.
Yeah.
That's those little stupid parts of that cartoon that like just rents a space in my head. And
Oh, yeah.
whenever somebody says "for real," that always goes through my head. For real, not for play.
But Colby has to be careful to do it at his work because he might be get sent to HR.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the 2020 movie Bloodshot, based on Valiant Comics, starring Vin Diesel, not Shaq, Vin, Guy Pearce, and oh god, I forgot how to say her name.
The girl who I was like, oh, it's the girls from the 60 or the 70 show, and then I'm like, oh, it's not her. It is
Mila Kunis.
When she first showed up, I thought that's who it was. And
Sent to HR again.
Right.
No, she was in Godzilla versus King Kong, Colby. Your favorite movie. One of your favorite Godzilla movies.
It was.
Are you excited for the new one coming up?
Super duper excited?
A lot of people were kind of complaining about how Godzilla was running and don't remember that Godzilla teamed up with Ultraman to drop kick. Was it Gore? I forgot who the Moth one. I don't know, man.
Mothra.
Was it Mothra or God something? I just remember he like slid on his tail, drop kicking.
Oh yes, yeah.
And
Gearus. Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of people don't understand is like, you're not. Are you really a fan of Godzilla? Because
right. Yeah, you gotta. But did you notice? It's subtle. They don't really show it. But in that scene where they're running, Godzilla's running, and Kong is next to him. Kong has metal gloves.
Oh, like he needed it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's probably like not even metal. It's like vibranium or whatever.
Yeah, he took Bumblebee and just smashed it onto his hand. It was like, I'm going Hulk style with the car fisticuffs.
All right, so,
sorry, Bumblebee.
So that trailer did showcase Baby Godzilla. Are we gonna? Oh no, Baby Kong. Is there a possibility that there's a Baby Godzilla coming?
If you follow the Godzilla movies, Godzilla does have a nuclear meltdown, and then the next movie, Godzilla's son, takes over.
Oh, I'm talking about the little cute one, from back in the day.
Godzuki.
Yeah, Godzuki. So it's like a Godzilla themed restaurant, and it's their version of the Pizookie.
Right. Or in other movies, it is called Babyzilla.
You see, I'm a casual fan. Colby has all the Godzilla figures. But let's talk about let's get back on track with the VD movie. It was funny. I was telling Colby about this, but I had seen this at the gym in their cardio room, and they were playing this, and then it was during one of the scenes in the movie where Vin Diesel was getting chased.
Right, and he's wearing like a tank top, probably.
Yeah, tank top, right? And then like he gets hit by the truck, and then his face like starts to reconstruct. And in my head, because I didn't know this was Bloodshot, I was like, "Oh, they finally did it! They finally made fucking Don Toretto a Terminator." And then I like laughed. I was like, "This is ridiculous. I don't know where Fast and Furious is devolved into."
Fast and Furious 11: Rise of the Machine. What?
But let's get started with the plot of this movie. We open up somewhere in the Middle East. I believe it's Syria.
Right.
Someone's gonna be like, "That's not the Middle East, bro." Sorry, we're America, I can't even tell you all 50 states.
I probably quick name at least 26 of them.
Yeah, see, that's as far, I think I believe there's a game on Friends where you're like, "Can you name 50 states from memory?" And like map it out. And you're like, nah, it's impossible.
If there's a map and I can like look, I probably could get.
I'd say like 40.
Yeah.
It's the smaller states that always gets me. Like, is this one Rhode Island? Or-
Right. I have not done a whole lot of East Coast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The colonies, you know. But this movie opens up in Syria. It's a military team. Looks like they're about to blast into a place looking for a hostage.
Right.
Vin Diesel is leading the team, and they're like,
Of course he is.
who else would it be? You know,
Right.
The Rock?
Yeah.
I don't know why they're so mad at each other. They're both the same caliber of actor. Vin Diesel I think he gets a leg up because he writes. So, yeah. But, yeah, so, they're like, Bravo 6, don't go in there without us. But Vin Diesel's like, it's all about family. He won't ever live
brother,
that down.
sister's cousin's former roommate.
I believe he's never going to live that down.
No.
It's too late. You've done, at this point, probably going to be 11 or 12 movies, Vin Diesel.
It's like that. Sorry, the little meme. They're like, which series of movies is better, Fast and the Furious or Harry Potter? And Harry Potter's like, hey, I've got an invisible cloak. Toretto's like, I've got family.
It's so stupid. I remember seeing that too. But no, yeah, he checks out. He clears out the place like a good military person. I believe. I'm not military trained, so I don't know how it looks like.
Right. He is trained like they are in the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And so he finds the hostage, and they're like, "Do you got a clear shot, Toretto?" Garrison. His name is Garrison in this one. And he's like, everything's fine, you know. Yeah, his voice is much different than when it was at the start of his career. It's sort of melded into a very strange New Jersey version of Stallone's accent.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's, because I heard one time, I believe it was Christopher Walken went in for a movie thing, and his manager was like, you have to do something with your voice. I mean, your voice is great, but it's the same great as every other person who's trying out. You got to do just something with your voice to make you stand out. And then he was just like,
do that cadence.
I'm gonna just do this for the rest of my career.
You can't tell me that's not his real voice. He probably
it is now.
He changed his voice because I just can't keep talking like that. Or he does it, you know. And he's like, "Hello," and the guy's like, "Well, you got to do something different." He's like, "Oh, I guess we'll just go back to my original voice." Does your mother sew? I just remember that line from Joe Dirt. Boom. But no, yeah. So he's able to get rid of the terrorist or terror cell. I don't know, crime cell.
Right, and this is the last person. This is the final boss. Yeah,
final boss for this mission, and he's able to get rid of him. He does get shot, but it's non-lethal.
Right,
and they're able to save this last hostage, and they get back on the plane. They go back home, and he's like, "This is what we do it for, boys." And it's his wife, and
she's there in a thin sundress.
Spain,
right, in a convertible car.
Yeah,
and they're just like, let's ride off into the sunset.
I'm gonna put a baby in that. That's what I feel like Vin Diesel's always thinking about. But no, yeah, they have a beautiful night together. They make love, and in the morning she leaves a note for him. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get us breakfast." They do have a conversation at night. She was like, "I wish you didn't have so many scars." It's not the scars I mind. It's the stories that come with it.
Right.
And he's just like, he's a very, very military person. Some people, once they kind of go into the military, do these type of things, it's hard. A lot of people, it's hard to adjust back to normal society.
Right.
And so maybe he doesn't have to do it, but he keeps doing it as long as he can,
Right. And he's like, hey, whenever I promise you I'm going to come back,
I always
come back.
But no, the next morning, he's freshening up. He's brushing his teeth. All of a sudden, he hears some people come in, and he's like, "Is that you, baby?" And he's like, nope, it's an Asian dude and a white dude
Right.
in military gear trying to kill him.
Yep.
Messes them up. Those guys are dead, right? Like, I feel like I can't see that head trauma and not being like,
Oh yeah, he's gonna be eating through a tube at least for a while.
yeah, I think the dude got like choke slammed through a toilet. I was like, can you do that? Like, Jesus. And then he runs out. He runs out because he's trying to get to his wife, and he bumps into this frat looking dude who's like there on like Ibiza, whatever. I took a pill in Ibiza.
Yeah, like, oh dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But then you learn that he actually stabbed him with some sort of tranquilizer,
Right.
which gets him. They wake up in Rocky's training room.
Yep, all the frozen meats.
All the frozen meats, and he's like, "How did you know? How did you know?" Very Batman-like. But he walks in not like Batman. He walks in like Joker.
Right. Is very like, yes.
Yeah, it's like
he turns on the Psycho Killer song,
Oh, yeah.
and he dances his little entrance in.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You know, he actually comes in like freaking Peter Quill. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Dude.
Yep.
Hey, guess who's gonna die today? Hey. I'm gonna give Weird Al Yankovic a run for his money. No, but he's like, yeah, who told you? How'd you find us? And he's like, I don't know. I just go where they point me.
Right. Yeah. He's like, I'm not that pay grade.
Yeah. I'm a foot soldier. I'm the best, but I'm a foot soldier.
Yep.
He's like, well, if you're not going to tell us, he brings in his wife tied up, puts, I believe that cattle thing.
Yeah, the little brain basher.
Yeah, and she's like, you think she could take this 6 inches? It's like, oh, jeez. Really? A fucking dick joke right now? And, Vin Diesel's begging. He's like, don't do it. I don't know anything. I'd tell you if I could. And I was like, are you that good of a soldier? Well, I guess you're not CIA, so,
Right.
You're just regular military.
That's true. He wasn't like Garrison 482-743. Garrison 482-743.
Yeah, he didn't have that little tooth that's
I don't
like...
know. I don't know if that's how it is. I've just seen other movies.
Yeah, he didn't have that false tooth that has like that arson.
The cyanide tooth.
Cyanide tooth, yeah.
Yep.
And then at first the guy's like, you know what, I believe you. Because he's like begging. The dude is begging.
Yeah.
This freaking albino gorilla is begging you. Like, he doesn't know anything. And he's like, I believe you. Yeah, but I'm still going to kill her.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
If I'll look for you to the ends of the earth. And he's like, you better kill me now, because if you don't, it'll be the single greatest mistake you've ever made.
Yep.
And then the guy goes, well, thanks for the advice.
And unlike most movies, he actually does kill him.
Yeah,
usually like, no, you can talk all you want, and then they leave, and then he breaks out, and it's like, okay, now the hunt is
on a mission, know. Sorry, no sharks with freaking lasers on their head.
Right. No, Mr. Bond.
Scotty, don't. But no, he wakes up in this facility. It kind of looks like the medical bay from Jason X. Jason Goes to Space, or is it Jason X, right? Yeah. And he wakes up and he has like all these little prods in his body, and he's like, what the? And he's super like disoriented, and then this beautiful Mexican woman just, Jesus Christ, she's like, wow, Isa Gonzalez, KT, comes up to her, almost like the Jean Grey situation with Wolverine and the first X-Men.
Right, yes.
And then Guy Pearce comes with his little robot hand.
Right, and I guess you wake up to a beautiful girl. It's less jarring than waking up to an ugly guy with a robot arm.
Back in the day, Guy Pearce was a looker.
He was.
I think he aged pretty well. It's like...
No, ugly guy.
No, I'm just saying. In my head, I was thinking, oh, yeah, because, if I had to wake up to Tommy Lee Jones, I mean... Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, but Tommy Lee Jones was a good-looking guy.
Yeah, exactly,
40 years ago.
Yeah, you could tell, he's a little bit more hardened throughout the years.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah. But you know what? I wouldn't mind waking up to Morgan Freeman. He just looks like he has a very calm face.
That's, yeah, even now.
Even now,
Yeah.
It's just Tommy Lee Jones looks grumpy, like. Like Guy Pearce looks like, oh, that guy looks like he was probably really handsome when he was younger. Yeah. But
yes, yeah.
the best way is to wake up to a beautiful woman.
Right.
If you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
And so they start to kind of calibrate him, kind of catch him up a little bit. And he's like, so do you know your name? And he's like, of course I know my name. It's family. No, he's like, he doesn't know his name.
Right, yeah.
You know, and he's like, well, what about, like, I feel like, I have family. They would have like came looking for my body. And he's like, the government donated your body.
Wrong movie. Yeah. No family in this movie.
But this is what they explain to him, like, hey, your body got donated by the U.S. government because, and then KT comes in. She's like, when no one comes to claim the body.
Right.
And so he's like, oh, fuck, I don't have a family.
Yeah.
Damn it, dude. I'm not even trying to say it, but like, and so they show him to like this huge facility looking like Avengers Tower.
And he kind of meets the other superheroes.
Oh yeah. Well, like, so first they show him that he has nanobots in his body because because Guy Pearce cuts him and he's like, what the hell was that for? And he looks at his body and he's like, oh no, Venom. Venom. Oops, wrong comic book. No, but like he sees his body start to regenerate with this not black goo, it's just like a black kind of substance.
Yeah.
And then he puts it under the microscope and it's like this little CGI rendered of all these little tiny nanobots repairing his body, and he's explaining it to him. He's like, listen, you're like the best of the prototypes that we've done. Right.
We've done some animal tests that have worked, but you're the first human test that that's 100% success on.
Succeeded, right? And so that's when they go to the training room to meet everybody else. There's legs, there's eyes. Those are the two other people. We find out that KT, she has a breathing apparatus.
Right. So it's legs, eyes, breath.
Yeah. I was gonna say throat. You know what I'm saying? That's cute. No, it's like it's like in between her clavicles, which is like her collarbones. And then they're saying like and then they go run down through the missions. Like Legs got his legs blown up from an IED. Eyes, he got sniped or something like that.
Right, and lost his sights, and then they have like a kind of a chest thing.
It's like a camera situation that's like hooked up to his his optical nerves.
Right, so he can see. And he can see 360, and he can. We later find out he can shoot little drones up in the air and look through them as well.
Yeah, super cool, but super vulnerable again. Like I was like, one EMP, you know what I'm saying? And then KT, she has like
spray paint. Oh no, it's really cold. My window's fogged up. Windows? My cameras.
And then KT, she got a nerve gas attack during one of her diving missions in Syria.
Right.
Something like that. Now she's like sort of like she's immune to inhalants.
Right, yeah, because everything goes through a little filter in her chest, so she can breathe underwater. She can't be poisoned like gas poison.
Yeah, and so Vin Diesel's super like out of it. He's like, I'm gonna go to my bed.
Yeah,
take a nap. And I was like, you know what? That's the most relatable thing Vin Diesel's ever said. He's like, you know what? This is all too much. I'm gonna take a nap.
Right, because he still can't remember anything. So it's not like let's get on a mission.
Yeah,
he's
super
like,
overwhelmed.
Who am I?
Yep, and it's not Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
But no, so he goes to sleep. Legs has some sort of animosity towards him. We don't know what's going on with him. But yeah, he shows him to his quarters. It's like a super small barracks.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel goes to sleep and he starts having nightmares of a woman he doesn't know.
Oh.
So he goes down to the training room because he can't sleep. And, Sandbag's not doing anything, so he starts punching on a pillar.
Right, yeah, he starts punching a punching bag and punches, like, a hole in it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I feel like I'm stronger than I remember. And then he punches, like a cement pillar. And
yeah, and then, he tries,
chips it up pretty good.
He tries lifting weights, but it's all too, light now.
Yeah.
And so he like wallows in misery next to the pool. And then KT comes in there and she's like doing what's it called, a kata yeah, underneath, and he was like, wow, that's really impressive. And I was like, was that what was impressive? Not her in a bikini with side boob and
said that the nanites have made everything work better.
oh yeah. Don't need that blue pill no more, baby. Nah, but they have a conversation, and she's like, back in my old unit, I was like the only girl on the ship, so my squad leader or whatever gave me this coin to make me feel a part of the team. So she gives it to him, and they kind of have like a nice little friendly talk. And she's like, "Well, since you don't remember anything, I guess we got to find out what kind of liquor you like."
Yo.
And I was like, "Yep, that tracks." He takes a shot like a tequila or something.
Something, yeah.
But then like music starts playing in the speakers, and it's the same song that the killer had used. And then then he kind of like freezes or glitches out for a second.
Right, and he starts getting little flashbacks.
Yeah, and he's like, I know what I got to do. I got to find my killer. And now, and he just like is able to like leave this building. I was like, isn't this a high? I was like, okay, I guess I wouldn't want to mess with VD too.
I feel like some of that stuff is like it's easier to leave than it is to get in.
Yeah,
because like the security is waiting to keep you out. But if you're just like if you're inside and you're leaving, they're just like, bye, see you later, Tony.
But yeah, so he gathers up some stuff and he gets into a truck that he's, I guess, able to just procure from somebody.
Right.
And then so Guy Pearce and the whole team is like freaking out. They're like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I got some unfinished business."
Yeah.
And then you could see that what's it called? Vin Diesel Garrison is like now accessing all this type of network.
Right, because his nanites are connected to the company's network,
yeah,
which is like government, like super government grade. So he starts like being able to
access all this information.
Yeah,
and then he's even able. He's like pretty much like the walking the Matrix, like that scene where he like learns karate because he's able to like go to a hangar and he's able to like download this the manual to fly a plane.
Like, yeah, do you know how to fly an airjet? And he's like, I will in a minute.
Yeah. Super cool, man.
Yeah.
That is actually really cool. And then we see the guy who had murdered his wife start to kind of panic.
Right.
And so he's trying to leave, I believe like Paris, wherever he's at, but then Vin Diesel stops him in the tunnel. And
I gotta say, that was we'll get to the fight scene, but it was just artsy and super clever way to do it.
Yeah, it's a very comic book-ish type of scene.
Yeah,
because then Vin Diesel hits him with a flour truck, and now there's all this flour all over the place.
Right.
I thought he was doing that because I remember watching another movie or something that say like if you put flour in the air, you could like ignite it or something. That's what I thought he was doing, but no, it was just for like a really cool effect to set the mood.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel is tearing through this 4-car squad of like mercenaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's absolutely getting blasted though.
No care. He has now realized that the bullets, that the nanites will heal him quicker than the bullets will kill him. So he's just go ahead and shoot me.
Yeah, and so he's tearing through the squad. A really cool fight scene ensues, but the guy in the car, the murderer, is like freaking out.
Oh yeah.
And like I don't
and it's unusual because it's like he was as a murderer, he was such a badass in the beginning.
Yeah.
And now he's like overly scared that this guy's coming back for revenge.
Yeah, like the thing about that's what I was thinking too, and I was like, this guy is kind of dressed like a nerd. Like he's not like dressed like freaking Ichi the Killer type of Hachimura or whatever that dude's name was. I was like, oh, I guess maybe like that's like his little personality when everything is like coming
because when he first walks in, he's got like a big old puffy jacket. It's like Kanye's coming to kill you.
I don't know. That's kind of terrifying. Because I feel like he'd like talk my ear off for a good 2 to 3 hours before he does it. You know, like at the end of it, you're like, hey, if you're gonna do this, can we like kind of just, you know, get it moving? But I know, and so like yeah, he totally kills all these mercenaries, and he finally gets to him. Super cool way he does it too, because he like puts one of the mercenary guys' body against the glass,
Right.
with
the grenade
in it.
between.
Yeah, completely wrecks him. And then the guy says something, and he's like, yo, no, Guy Pearce is lying to you. I can help you. And then he just shoots him dead.
Right. Yeah. Looks square in the eye.
I told you I'd find you. And then so he meets up with KT, Legs, and Eyes. And, Legs goes over to burn the car that he had seized.
Right, yeah.
From the whole thing. And then KT, like, kind of talks to him. And he's like, I'm tired of this. And KT says something kind of odd, too. She's like, me too.
Me too.
And you're like, what? What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, so when they get back to the building, they tell Vin Diesel like, "Hey, we got to recharge you," and then all of a sudden, Legs comes in and he like bolts him back to the slab,
right?
And he's like saying weird things. You're like, "What is going on?" You know,
right? And the first thing he does is he sticks his gum to the wall, but there's like 15 other pieces of gum stuck to the wall.
Yeah, I was like, "Does no one clean?" But no, and he's like saying all these things. He's like, I'm so tired of cleaning up your messes, and you're just so stupid. And then all of a sudden, we get to the IT department where Guy Pearce is at, and then he's like, all right, let's go ahead and run it back one more. You're like, what? And then you all of a sudden finally get what's happening, because what's happening is that they're running a program while he's locked in. And they're going through the whole first scene of the movie, and they're just changing the killer. And you find out that the killer that they've been putting on these people is the old team of RST,
right?
Who know the technology of the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's basically like, we can't let this group is gonna sell to the highest bidder, so we just have to eliminate them all. We'll do it one at a time, and we'll do it with our super soldier.
Yeah, like the boogeyman, the Baba Yaga. But KT's super tired of this, because she's also like former military.
Right.
And she's just like, why? You should have just let him rest.
Oh, yeah, and it's like on her end, like she has to make an emotional connection with him over and over every single time that he wakes up, like he doesn't remember anything, and she has to replay this scenario and remake a connection with him so that he trusts the team.
I think it's about like, what is it, like by this time it's like the 7th or 8th time,
right? And then you realize, you're like, oh, each piece of gum was a different time that guy came in there to
just shit
reset
on
him. Yeah.
And then Guy Pearce, like he what's it called? He totally, just kind of guilt trips her into it or whatever. But he's like, just one last time. This is the last run.
Right.
This is the last run. And then after that, we'll take the nanites out of his body, and then we'll bury him in Arlington, where his body...
Yep. Funerals, or a soldier's funeral, hero's funeral. Yeah,
hero's funeral, So we fast forward through this whole thing one more time. Do it all over again, but now it's like this this Russian guy named Boris.
Right.
He's just living in London. So he goes over there, same old thing. He gets in there, though. But the one difference is, what's it called? Oh my gosh, what's his name? Lamont, the guy from New Girl.
Oh, that's who it is. Yes.
Yeah, Wilfred. What's it called? Yeah, Lamont Morris, Wilfred Wiggins.
Yeah.
Winston Bishop was his name. He has some good character names, so I'm not gonna lie. He is also at the compound, and so Boris is like, he was taking this dude prisoner because he is a genius hacker. Right. Right. So much of a genius. Oh, sorry.
And you get a little tiny taste because Eric is like the genius hacker coder that's working,
at RST.
or at RST, and he's like, oh my god, this is the guy. I stole some of his like
Or no,
programs.
he used his open source code.
Because it's so brilliant.
And then you don't tell your boss. He's like, you used open source code for this $1 billion project. And so, like, what's it called? He had what's it called? Wiggins built him an EMP, and he's like, here you go. You just gotta press this button, and we'll go to 100%. Boom.
Right.
But then, what's it called? Vin Diesel is able to kill everybody in there.
Yep.
Before Boris even says anything, he kills Boris. He's like, I told you I'd find you.
Right.
But then Wiggins, who actually has the real controller.
Right, yeah, because Boris thinks he has the controller, and it's like it is charging slow, and it's like you can't hit it till it's fully charged.
Yeah. He actually has a controller, and he shuts down Vin Diesel. They lose all trace of him.
Right.
And then Wiggins wakes him up with a car battery. Just super cool. So yeah, you find out that Wiggins wakes him up and he's like, I knew you were going to come, and so I waited for you to kill everybody because they had me trapped here.
Right, yep.
And, but they're able to sort of almost kind of dice, like, Wiggins is able to just kind of figure out everything that's happened.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, like, he's a little slapsticky, but he is, he's like comic book Goofy.
Yeah, just like a great sidekick.
Yeah.
Type of character. And he's like, and then like Vin Diesel starts having flashes. He's like, every time when I look back or think back about it, the killer is someone like a different face.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, they probably programmed it, and it's crazy. You're like fully programmable. You know what I mean? It's actually kind of cool. And so, yeah, he runs it. He does a breakdown, and he's like, what about my wife? Is she even dead? And he's like, well, here you go. Finds the address for him, and it's in London. And so,
right, yep.
He gives Wiggins a little bit of the nanites, and he's like, figure this out. And he's like, oh man, you want me to
reverse engineer
like
something that like 100 people have worked on at $1 billion corporation
and 10 years of genetic coding? He's like, well, that's your superpower, right? He's like, I'll be done by dinner, but I'm just saying. It's super funny. And it's so like he gives Vin Diesel like a phone, like a non-trackable phone.
Yep.
And he's like, take the Aston Martin.
Right, yeah, take the car that has no computer parts, because we just EMP'd, so some stuff's still not going to be working. And if you have the computer stuff, as soon as it starts to reboot, they'll be able to track you. Yeah,
and so like so he goes over to look for his wife.
Right.
Find out that it's been 5 years.
Yeah,
she's moved on. They don't say it, but you kind of figured out that they probably broke up. Like, or maybe he got killed. Like, she was like, oh, he's killed in action.
She's not surprised to see him like, oh my God, you're alive.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
it has been 5 years.
It is definitely, you get the impression that he chose work over being making a family with her.
Yeah.
And
he probably could have like retired a long time ago.
Yeah. And then the real memories he has of her is like this super lovey time that it was like implanted.
Yeah. And so so he like Batman's out of there before she even turns around. And at this point, Legs and Eyes have spotted him. We get a pretty cool little chase scene over here. He is able to like obliterate. No. He holds Legs down, and then they both get hit by a car.
Yes.
And Legs is like crawling on the floor because his legs are gone. He's like, I have no legs.
But this is where you see the Eyes has the little drone things. He shoots them up in the air so he can kind of track as they're running through the city streets.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know where that little ditty is from, it's from a movie called Kids. So if you guys want to be depressed.
Yep.
You watch that movie?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is a terrible movie to watch as like a normal person.
I know, somebody was like, this movie's great, and they showed me just like a few parts, and I was like, this movie looks amazing. I gotta and then I watched it. I was like, that
was depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the unfortunate, probably like a little bit of the unfortunate reality of what it was to be a teenager.
Right.
Even like when I watched it, I think it was like fresh out of high school, and like Mac Miller just came out with Kids, and then one of my friends is like, "Oh yeah, you haven't seen Kids? Yeah, it's a good movie. It's kind of messed up."
Right.
And so I watched it, and I was like, "Oh man, this is kind of like a weirdly accurate depiction of how teens are." And
Yeah.
I was like, ugh. Especially that main character, the dude who had AIDS. Ugh. Guy's straight to jail. I mean, if he doesn't die first. But no. So yeah, they have this fight, but what's it called? Eyes is able to kind of jack him with some nanites, some like tranquilizer nanites or whatever.
Right.
Shut him down a little bit. Guy Pearce tells Katie, like, hey, you're gonna go get Wiggins because we've been working with second-rate hackers, apparently. They did try, what's it called? They did, like, earlier in the movie, they did try to get Wiggins, but Eric was like, you guys tried, you guys couldn't get him. Because, hacking, it's about freedom, I guess. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
But,
Make your own money. He's the entrepreneur. It's
yeah, he's an entrepreneur.
I own my own business.
Yeah.
I don't need to work for yours.
Exactly, right? But, like, KT's like, no, I don't want to do it. And then he kind of shuts off her valve.
Gives her the Darth Vader force choke.
Yeah, pretty much. Very, what's it called? It's like that Black Mirror episode where they took the guy took away that girl's face.
Yep.
Super brutal, and so she goes over to like London. She finds Lamont or like Wiggins. She's like, got a light, and he's like, oh, a gentleman always provides.
Right, yeah, because even if you're a smart nerd, you're still a nerd, and so like when a pretty girl talks to you, you're awkward.
Especially her. Oh my gosh. Like, gosh, gorgeous. But no, she kind of like stuns him, and then she like messes up his like little guard detail and all this. I was like, when did he have time to do all this? I guess when he probably figured out that like what's it called, Vin Diesel wasn't coming back, and he had access to all of Boris's money.
Right. Yep.
So they go away for a little bit, and then we wake back up at RST, and they're trying to reboot them for a final mission, because now they gotta get oh wait, no, KT comes back and she's like, Wiggins got away. Yes. And so like, oh, now we gotta go one more mission because he knows too much now.
Right. So we'll send him after Wiggins.
Yeah. And so like they start programming it and all that stuff, but KT's like, nope, I'm fucking tired of all this. And she like completely messes up the simulation. She inserts herself into that room.
Right.
And then she's able to be like, oh, Garrison, don't, they're fooling you right now. And so they're trying to stop her from doing that. Guy Pearce comes into the little freaking chamber. What was the chamber for Professor X?
Oh, it was Cerebro.
Yeah, like little Cerebro,
you're
right?
Right. Yep. It was totally like that.
And he tries to shut off her valve. He's like, well, it was good. You were such a good soldier, but I don't need I don't need broken soldiers in my unit. Tries to shut her off, but access denied.
Yep.
And I was like, I knew that was happening. Come on. Wiggins is too funny to kill. And so we actually learned that Wiggins had overrode his code into her own code. So now she's her own person.
Right. Yep.
Right. And then now he's hacking. He hacked into the building and all that stuff. And he's able to get Garrison out of his simulation with his memory still intact.
Yes.
And so all right, I got to say, this fight scene that happens between Legs, Garrison, and Eyes, kind of like bad. It reminded me very much of Matrix 2, Neo versus all the Agent Smiths. It's a cool fight though.
I thought the same thing, and like not to like ruin the movie magic or anything, but like as I was watching it, I was thinking, if this was the fight scene from like 2005,
great.
Before like all the Marvel stuff was like as big as it,
Yeah.
It would have been like, whoa, blown away.
Yeah.
But it was just
a little
definitely under budget of
Yeah.
things like the Matrix and the Marvel movies and stuff. So you want to expect more.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Vin Diesel project, you know? He has all that fast money.
Right.
But like, yeah, because then I believe Black Widow had a scene almost like that towards the end,
Right.
when they're fighting in the sky. I was like, oh, I guess is Black Widow not a superhero? She could survive this fucking thing. Jesus Christ, she's like freaking. It's like a Final Fantasy game right now.
Yep.
But kind of goofy. But the action is still really good because Legs has like arms now too.
Yeah.
And eyes just he's just really good at CQC, you know, that close quarter combat.
Right, and he's got like little knives and stuff, and so is
super cool. Yeah, super cool character. I mean, he was the kind of like the one character that was probably that leaned a little bit more towards KT's sort of ideology. He's like, hey, don't kill him. He's one of us.
Right.
Very strong.
And you're
like
really
military.
like, I was kind of half expecting him to turn.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for that too, because yeah, he still has that very strong like military type of bond.
Right.
Like, these are my brothers and my sisters. You know, we're a unit and this and that.
But I guess but you still got the, Sarge says, jump, you jump.
You know, a good soldier follows orders.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
But he ends up getting betrayed by Legs because Legs like cuts off like the little cable car.
Right, and it's just like, hey, it's easier to get rid of both of you at the same time than
try to help you. Yeah, but then like Vin Diesel is able to like rip this dude's like legs or arms off.
Right.
And kind of uses them as a cushion for the fall. And so we actually finally get to the final fight between Garrison and Guy Pearce.
Right.
And man,
they didn't ever really make any kind of real notification about it, but at this point there's like, you see a little countdown and you see that the nanites are all running out of energy. He is now overexerted in these like super fights.
Oh yeah. And Wiggins says he's overclocking the nanites.
Yeah, and so they're kind of burning out.
Yeah, because then like, freaking Garrison takes a grenade launcher to the chest. I think that's where all the budget went, because that part was really cool.
Right. Yeah.
Because like it blows right through him, and then you see like again like very Venom like all the nanites coming back and reorganizing into his body.
Right.
And then Guy Pearce shoots another one, and then the nanites strip the grenade.
Yeah.
But
down to its core.
Down to the core, and Vin Diesel was like holding it, and then like what's it called? Guy Pearce is looking at his little robot arm. He's like, huh, "You're out of time." Yeah,
you've hit zero, and so now this fight is even. Yeah. And I've got a cool robot arm, so I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah, until Garrison, he's all like, "Nope," and he's holding the grenade, the core of the grenade, and he blows them both up.
Right? Yeah, because hey, it's better to take care of yourself, because at this point, what's he gonna? He doesn't have anything to live for. Like he's like,
KT.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, KT and Wiggins are destroying the RST database.
Right.
So like all the research can be lost, because it is a pretty dangerous like project.
Right. Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
I could see why they were like, we don't want these people selling it to the highest bidder, because.
He didn't want them to sell it before he could sell it.
Mostly, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, super dangerous. Like the dude is a walking Skynet.
I was right. Super strong.
Right.
Almost indestructible.
Information access all over the world.
Right.
It's crazy. But and so like they destroy all the databases, but then like Vin Diesel dies in this huge explosion.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you hear Wiggins talking, and he's talking to KT, and he's like, "Oh, I think he's waking up." And at first he's kind of like worried. He's like in this like sort of like little medical bay. Kind of like looking. It kind of looks a little futuristic. Right. I didn't know it was in a friggin' Winnebago. But because I thought it was like the way that what's it called, Wiggins is dressed. He's dressed like he's a part of Migos.
Right. Yeah, he's all pimped out.
Yeah, almost like Did they sell it or something? No, they didn't. And then he talks, he goes, he talks to KT a little bit, and he's like, Guy Pearce was right about one thing, as you gotta look towards the future, I guess.
Right.
And then they get into the truck, and then they start driving off into the sunset, and Wiggins is like, for real? This is how we're gonna...
We drive into the sunset?
Yeah. And then the movie is ended.
Yeah.
There was nothing at the end?
There was
credits,
not,
right? Okay, yeah, I was like waiting for it. It's like, oh, I don't think there's anything. And then it went black. I was like, okay, I guess there's nothing.
Right.
Before we get to our thoughts about what this, how this movie was, let's go into our other section. We have high star and low star.
So we got a 10 out of 10, the most underrated film of 2020. Maybe I had low expectations before the movie, but I've liked it so much. Feeling like Upgrade, but with budget much bigger than 5 mil. Innovative, fancy, original film. The coolest thing that it is logical. Yes, it's a bit spoiled by trailers, and the plot itself is quite simple. Also, Vin Diesel is Toretto, as always, and there were not enough money for the last scene. But this movie is still 10 out of 10 for me. Of course, the real point is 8 to 9, but I want to praise it among others.
This was like the longest 10 out of 10. We got 1 out of 10. I'm willing to give anything a chance, but this is terrible writing. Every scene was just one audible groan after another. I don't expect Shakespeare from Vin Diesel, and have enjoyed many of his movies in the past, but unfortunately the writing and this one was just too bad. I do agree a little bit with that, because I do like the little twist, right?
Right.
Where you find out, it was all just a simulation, and it was a way for them to control him. But it's like it's a good 75% of the movie, and then the last 25% kind of just felt lazy.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So I can kind of agree with the low rating, but as far as like the 75%.
But it's one of those things where it's an ongoing comic series.
Yeah.
So lots of times you're like, we want like the comic series has like this great opening, but then it keeps going. But we want it to end. It's a movie, so we need it to end at 1:45.
Yeah.
1:38, whatever it is. So we're gonna do we make the opening big and then kind of like smash the end together, or do we skip on the origin and kind of then make the end bigger and better?
Yeah, it's hard to point out where you want to put the strong writing at, right?
Right, yeah. Like, it's one of those things, if it was like, hey, they made it into a series, it was 8 episodes, they could have really built a lot more into that post-origin part. Yeah.
For me, it was like I think it's probably way more important to have a strong opening because it keeps you watching,
right?
Versus a weak one. I think what could have made it a little bit better towards the end is just to scale the fights down just a little bit. Because because I read these comics as well, like the Valiant comics from the 90s, and then even the reboot for it like in recent years. And it's like he's still just like he's like a super soldier, pretty much.
Right.
And so I was like, this fight feels like it's almost trying to do something like Marvel, like with Iron Man or something like that. That's
exactly. Yeah, it's you're, and that's as I say, if this had come out
2005,
yeah, this would have been great. But it is now trying to push itself into that league, that Marvel league, the DC, comic league, and it's just, it's one of those things where, this has got a $50 million budget versus, like a $500 million budget, it can't do everything, but it tries to.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff it just tried a little too hard. If they didn't try to go as grandiose on some stuff, and they just brought it back a little. I think they could have made it a lot cleaner.
Yeah, because then like that's like what I appreciate. I mean, this isn't Dragon Force. That one I kind of expect like the how the ending of the fight was. It's
Right.
Like that's kind of like Dragon Force. It's about a guy who can turn into a freaking dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one is about a soldier, and so in my head I was just like, like you guys, like if they had scaled it down just a little bit, gave Guy Pearce to be a little bit more of a, he was already a villain, like a mad scientist type of villain. But like you kind of gave all the cool gadgets to Legs,
Right.
and you also like never really learn his hatred towards Vin Diesel. He's just like, I'm just so tired of cleaning up after you. You're so dumb.
Right, and yeah, because I was thinking about that too. I'm like, is he jealous? Is he like, oh, I've got fake legs, but you've got like
A full body.
you've got like super nanite body.
Yeah, which possibly could be the reason why, like the animosity towards them, but still, like you never really get it. Like I get a full understanding, which is like I'm also fine with. But like because you had that character, the Legs have such animosity towards them, it kind of like bogged down the final confrontation between Bloodshot and the
Right,
Doctor.
right. Yeah, you could have totally had it like, I don't hate you at all, but boss says to do this, and you know I follow orders.
Yeah, because I was like,
And-
I was expecting, I was like, all right, cool. Is Guy Pearce gonna have a super awesome suit, like an exos? Because that's what his company does.
Right.
Exoskeletons, freaking the arms, the legs, the eyes, and all that stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, is it gonna be like sort of like a little Iron Man situation happening? Nah, kind of. But like, one thing I did like about that is they did do a little bit of a callback to the comics when he's like running out of like energy, and his body, like his eyes were red, and his like skin was
Skin
white.
is all like pasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I was waiting for that the whole movie. I was like, when is he gonna get all pasty?
Right. Yep.
Sorry, like while Colby was explaining what was his portion, I looked up the box or the budget. It was like 45 mil. It only got a 37 million return, so 7,000 or
Did it even get a theater
it did.
release?
Yeah. I don't see, and I think that's like one of the things about like actors who do long running series like the Fast and the Furious, because like you really start to pigeonhole yourself into
Right.
these boxes, because like Vin Diesel has tried to do other movies, like I think he did like a witch movie, The Witch Hunter or whatever.
Yes. Yep.
And I feel like that also had bombed.
Right.
Other people that came later have had a like at least like a more diverse career, because you've had Jason Statham already had an established career before this.
Yeah.
The Rock kind of was having that. This is like, I think this is like one of the movies where he really got like beefcaked up. I kind of miss Skinny Rock, and it's like, it's dumb to say like Skinny Rock. Yeah, him in Game Day, he was still like a pretty buff.
Oh, well, right. Yes.
Yeah, but he had also already established himself doing like these action comedies with like Kevin Hart and all that stuff. So like, I feel like when like another person that suffers from that is Tyrese.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really, I guess if you're making a lot of money from why,
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're
But then like when you try to do all these other projects, it's kind of like he's just being Toretto, like the 10 out of 10 comments. Because who else had a pretty decent career outside of Fast and Furious? Gal Gadot.
right. She's one of the few that like really.
Yeah, blew up after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I saw the Wonder Woman movie, and it was like one of those things where it's like she looks familiar, but I don't know. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, because I watched the Fast and the Furious, and I would never have put that together. But now that I like
she was
go
Han's
back, I'm like,
girlfriend.
oh, it totally is.
Yeah, who else have you really not seen as much? I mean, well, not Bow Wow, but it can't be like, Bow Wow's only in the third movie. But like I like comic, like I think it's a lot of people have been saying that it's like oh, we're so tired of comic book movies. But there's still so many more other comics that you could still make movies out of.
Right. Yeah.
Because Bloodshot was a good one to do because it doesn't feel so superhero-y. It feels more just like futuristic
Right.
soldier.
And Valiant was, I guess they had gotten an offer for like a 3-movie deal, not to make 3 Bloodshot movies, but to make 3 Valiant comic movies.
Yeah.
And then this one didn't do great, and the other ones kind of fell through. They do have one of their other, like their ninja titles was called Ninjak.
Oh, yeah.
They did a Ninjak meets the universe or fights the universe or something kind of thing. And it I actually never saw anywhere where it got released, but it looks like it's on YouTube like a couple years ago. They
tried doing something.
They released it just like free to the public kind of thing.
They're like, we already lost money on this, so just
Right.
which is a shame too, because I do remember also reading like Harbinger. Harbinger was a pretty good one.
Right. And what, Exo Manowar?
Yeah,
Is that
Exo Manowar.
Where Bloodshot got his first appearance?
I think so. I'm not super heavy into the Valiant universe, but like you also have like Image Comics has a huge library that like you can still do comic book movies on, and then people are gonna be like, oh, that was cool. Like, God, what was a really good one that I was like always trying to find like early issues of? Oh, Morning Glory.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a really good one. Obviously Saga.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a couple years since I've read comics. I don't know if Saga is still going on.
It ended.
It ended.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta get those trades just to see how to. That one, oh my God, that would be such a good like space epic for a movie studio to possibly try to do.
Right. Yeah, that one's. It would be tough to do movies. I think you would definitely have to have like a Netflix or an HBO pick it up and do
A streaming service,
like a Game of Thrones kind of like chapter.
Yeah, because like the charm of that is it does really feel like it has a lot of influences, like Firefly type of influences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it feels like it would be a really expensive show.
Yeah.
Maybe Prime. Jeff Bezos, come on, Bezos overlord. Why don't you make us a Saga movie? But yeah, no, and so I think there's still a lot of material that you can do comic book movies in. It doesn't always have to be a superhero. I think people are, yeah.
You mentioned Image. Image has a lot of stuff that is fantasy or sci-fi that isn't necessarily superhero. So it would branch out without being redundant.
Yeah, because even what's it called? I believe they did Happy, the show.
Oh, yep,
with,
right.
Patton Oswalt and the dude from Law and Order.
Yeah, that was super well done off of the comic.
Yeah. So yeah, I think people aren't having comic book fatigue. I think they're just having superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could still see people trying to do comic book stuff. It would just have to be like a little bit more down to earth, closer to the ground.
Right. Yep.
A really good one that I quite enjoyed. It was like a short run. It was called 10 Grand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that one?
Yep.
I was super sad when like the artist and the writer had a falling out, because I really loved the art style of the first half of the thing, and then it switched to like almost like a paper mache looking type of art,
right?
Which I was like, I still like the story, so I'll still read it, but it kind of threw me off.
Yeah, yes.
Did you read that one?
I read a little bit at the beginning, and then it was some of that stuff. Like, running a comic store, I always try to like
read the first issue.
Read the first couple issues of like every series, but then there's so much stuff that comes out that it's only a few things like we're like, oh, this was so good, I have to keep going.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah, I think for me, because I like it was like based on like a detective who was like in the supernatural. It felt very Constantine-y.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, and he's like I think trying to do 10,000 favors for like a demon or something so he can get his wife's soul from hell to heaven. Super cool. He even had like brass knuckles with like Enochian engravings, like the angel writing, so he could like punch ghosts. Super cool. But yeah, for this movie, for Bloodshot, I think it was. I think, man, maybe it's just like the execute. Maybe it's just like the actor they had chose. I mean, Vin Diesel is fine as an actor, as an action actor.
Right.
Do you think this would have done a little bit better if it had a different actor in it?
I don't know. Unfortunately, like I feel like it got hit with just the timing.
Yeah, 2020.
2020,
Yeah.
like you're trying to bring out a new superhero movie right as what the Marvel Phase 4 is like wrapping up. Like you're going against Infinity War and like
Yeah, but it did seem like a pretty solid just action flick,
right.
right? And like for me, the whole. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say if with having like Vin Diesel being like the big buff Stallone like kind of person, that's another one of those things where I was like, this would have done great in the '90s, early 2000s, because that type of action movie was still like the thing. Schwarzenegger, Stallone, kind of superstars, not the,
Yeah, but see, even them, they mixed it up a little bit, right? Because Stallone had some comedies.
Oh, right.
Like,
Oh,
was
no,
it-
yeah. No, I'm not
like
saying that. Though.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had some kid movies like Kindergarten Cop,
Right.
Last Action Hero.
Didn't Vin Diesel have a
He had The Pacifier.
pass? Yes.
Like very early, he was kind of like mixing it up a little bit, which was fine. And then I think because of like the pigeonhole, the box that he had put himself in, people were just gonna be like, like me, like at the gym, I was like, oh man, they finally turned Toretto into a fucking T-1000, like. Dude, where is, because I think I stopped watching Fast and Furious after the third one.
I will have to say though, what EOS Fitness is where it has like a big movie room
Yeah.
and you can watch movies while you're on the bike or on the treadmill. And yeah, I caught up on Fast and the Furious movies. There, I think for a couple months they were doing like
All the Fast and Furious
all the
series.
Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah. But like I think that's sort of he has the star power, but it's just like it's a very pigeonholed star power,
Right.
And I think that's sort of like his, obviously the dude is making millions and millions of dollars still, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he could stop acting right now and be fine. But it just sucked because like I think I had like the first 15 issues of this when it got rebooted. And I was, this is pretty cool, And obviously your box gets bigger and bigger, so you have to drop some comics. So.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And Vin Diesel's got that Groot money.
Oh yeah, he has Disney money. See? Like that's cool, but then again, he says I am Groot like 10,000 different ways. I am Groot.
Right. And he said it was all before the first movie came out, and they just were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna here's another check. We're gonna use your own voice for this next movie."
You don't have to come back. It's funny talking about pull boxes at comic books. I think at the time when I was back 2014 or something like that, when I was going to school. And I just didn't have the money to keep buying it. I was like, I had to go to Ralph because that's who I started buying comics from. I always felt bad because Colby's store was like down the street from me essentially. But I had started collecting comics like in 2010 with Ralph, and I was like, I was like, I've been there for so long now. I feel like betrayal if I leave.
Right? Hey. He was a great guy.
Yeah. And then I think by the time I was like kind of ending like collecting comics and stuff, I believe I had to spend probably like $600 because I was like, well, I can't tell him to put all the comics that he had held for me back. Because at that point my pull box was like 6 months in.
Right.
And I was like, fuck. So I think I ended up paying $500 to $600 for comics.
Right. Yeah, because you have that's the weird choice of, I have to either cut ties and never come back into the store again.
Which, like, even after that, I haven't gone back because I haven't bought comics. So I could have done that, but like somewhere inside of me, the integrity.
Oh, right.
Of a small, well, yeah, he's still a small business owner.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
yeah, no, I props to you. That was the worst, is when people ask
just
you
never
to
showed up.
hold stuff and then they just, yeah.
You're like,
or you collect something for somebody for like 6 months and then they're just like, no, I'm not interested in that anymore. Go ahead and just throw it back on the shelf. And you're like, oh. Because comics like fresh fruit, The first week, 10 days that it's out, everybody wants it, and then it gets like the banana gets a little dented, and you could still sell. For somebody who's making banana bread or making smoothies, you could sell it out to like 30 days or whatever. And then after that, it's just basically
that's mush.
Unless there's like a key issue, it's trash.
Yeah.
You get the occasional grape that turns into a raisin, and then people are like, "I love raisins," but yeah.
I know, like the best thing you could hope for is like it's one of those runs where it's like Batman or like one of the big boys,
right? Yeah.
But then at that point you're like 12 issues deep, and you're like, well, I'm only you try to sell it off as a pack, like, well,
right? Yep.
You buy 10, I'll give you the 2 for free. Yeah. You're still just trying to break even on this deal, Like,
yep.
Come on, man. Definitely. Like, yeah, like, me and my friends are kind of like that. We're like, man, we got to spend a little bit of money to just close out. I had a friend who was going to Cosmic Comics all the way in Northtown.
Oh, right.
I was like, okay, why are you going all the way here? He's like, I don't know. Yeah, yep. But Bloodshot was one of them. It was a fun run when I was reading it. It was loaded to ground. It's army, very Rambo like type of comics, and that's sort of what I was kind of expecting. Like, it's like, ooh, Rambo, but he doesn't have to hide. I just recently, like probably like a month or two ago, I finally like rewatched like the first Rambo movie, and I was just like, this is really sad, man. This movie is really sad, dude.
The first one, that First Blood.
Yeah,
it's deep.
Yeah,
and then they bring in like Rambo, and then it's like this one just super over the top and like Yeah,
it's like, but that was Hollywood pigeonholing Stallone,
right?
Did he also write First Blood? Because I know he,
maybe he was in on it on something.
Yeah.
But that was, for a long time, that was on like my top 5 list.
Oh, it's super good.
It is really good.
Yeah, because I watched it as a kid and I was like, yeah, kill him, Rambo, kill those cops.
And then you watch it 10 years later as like a more adult, and you're like, oh my god, like I didn't get the whole depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, and
it's just it's almost like social commentary for all those Vietnam vets that came back, and he's like,
right,
they're telling me to hate me, they hate me, even though I went over there to fight for them.
Yep.
And that's what I was expecting with Bloodshot. I was like, I did like the whole, it was all simulation. Like you said, this probably might have done way better as a series. Because then you could really flesh out like his previous life and the other characters as well.
Yeah.
And then scale down the fights where it's almost like, because a lot of people I think really appreciate those, like, yes, it's nice to have like these fantastical fights, but like, man, like for the longest time, when you watch like these gritty, like these streaming services like Punisher and Daredevil with the grittier fights, where it's like, I could probably do that with some proper training, but I could. It's very plausible for me to be able to do that. I mean, still very much so. I'm dead.
Right, but
there's a hint.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was really hoping for in this movie as well.
Right. And being that it's a movie and like Smashed, like you go from he wakes up one day not remembering anything, he meets a new team, and then that night he goes on his rampage and has already mastered his nanites to the point that like he's indestructible and can hack every system, and like whereas if you had it was a series, like he could be learning and building those abilities.
Yeah, and that's I think really even for an hour and 45, it just wasn't enough to establish the Bloodshot character.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, tell you right now, there would have been an episode where he was running low for the whole time, and he just has to be pale white with the bloodshot eyes, and it's like then he's like just a little bit more dangerous.
Yep.
Because I also didn't know that, like, you know, him with the nanites running low, he would just be a normal human.
Right. I don't think I ever got that from the comic.
Yeah. So it could just be a part of the movie, but see, that would have been a really cool scene too. Like in the series, like one episode, his nanites are off, and he just has to go back to his old skills.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, we're coming up to the end of the episode. Well, first of all, we want to thank you guys for joining us. If this is the first time you guys are joining us, make sure to check out our other months down below. We have our holiday months.
Yeah, we just went through. We just went through Halloween and through Christmas, so you got to go back and check those out. But we've got a month for everything. We got a musical month. We've got a
space debris month.
I was gonna say Patton Oswald, Patterson.
Can we have a Patton Oswalt month? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. You know, I don't know if he's main.
Ratatouille.
I always forget that he's Ratatouille. I feel like a lot of people have watched that. Oh man, but yeah, definitely we have all that. This is the first time you guys are joining us. Though we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray It, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this one?
It would be interesting to see what kind of extras they gave you. Like if they were like, "Hey, Blu-ray comes with a comic," something like that. Oh. That might be enough to push me.
Yeah, but I feel like the comic's gonna be with Vin Diesel and not the original Bloodshot.
Because it is a fun movie, and I always kind of like in the back of my head there's a separation between a good movie and an entertaining movie. And this is definitely, it doesn't necessarily fall into the good movie category, but it is definitely an entertaining movie.
Yeah, very much so.
It's got some rewatchability. It's got some shareability. Definitely, like, if I was flipping through the channel and this was on, I would be like, oh,
Bloodshot,
let's watch that.
Yeah.
Or like you said, like if I'm at the gym and this pops on, this is definitely action-packed and entertaining enough that I'm going to forget that my legs are burning for 45 minutes while I catch the end of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's got something, hey, maybe if it had little extras, or if they had like the throw the Ninjak movie on, maybe that I'd go Blu-ray for that. But I don't know if it necessarily has enough for Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a DVD, I definitely go DVD over streaming.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy this for me is a pretty easy DVD. It is entertaining enough. It's a comic book movie, and as a former comic book collector, I kind of feel like I'm obligated to get it as well. This one won't cost me $600.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sad that we were robbed of a. What's it called? A Bloodshot Ninjak Exo Manowar crossover, possibly.
Right.
And then at the end of that, you know, Harbinger.
Right, because I remember Valiant Comics got really popular for a while, and there was a lot of really expensive Valiant Comics, and then they kind of they got bought out by like Acclaim, and they sold out, and they just got whoever to come in and write stuff, and they fell off, and then they just kind of stopped. They ended up rebooting, but So I had like 2 long boxes of
Valiant.
of dollar comic Valiant comics. And then when they announced that they were going to do like this 3-movie deal, for like the next 2 weeks, I had a lot of people picking through and trying to find first appearances and, you know,
Scavengers. That's what
scavengers. Yeah. And there was a lot of stuff that I was like, man, did I make a mistake? But since the 3 movies didn't come out, it wasn't in the long run. I didn't lose a lot of money. So it was better that I moved some of that stuff.
I know. I'm pretty sure. I believe I went to Zia Records one time. They have like a little comic section, and I kind of flickered through that too. And I was like, "What? A number 1 Bloodshot from the '90s? That's 50 cents." Actually, like that's one of the things I did like about Valiant in the '90s is like their covers are like really cool.
Right.
Yeah, they're very like kind of retro '80s looking type of things, and they had like little holographic stuff, and
they did like colors, like you'd have like silver foil and blue foil and red foil, but they were like ratioed variants, and if you didn't know, like they were like, oh, just different colors, but it was like, you know, as a comic store, you'd buy like for every 10 you bought silver, you'd get like 1 blue, and then for like every 25, then you would get like 3 blues and 1 red, and then it was like people were like, "Hey, do you have the red version?" And then I guess there was like a gold version that was like 1 per store or something.
Yeah,
and it was kind of an interesting way to do the
variants.
The variants.
Yeah, they just tricked them. They just tricked Colby.
Pretty much, yeah.
But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to join us for next week's movie. It's another weird science movie. I don't know what it is yet, though.
It's not weird science, but it is weird science.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to like having you guys come back.
And of course, we got our socials: our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
all that stuff.
Threads. We're working on making a Threads account. So follow our socials. Send us some ideas, answer some questions, show us some love.
Yeah. Tell us your favorite bad movie or underappreciated movie.
Right. Yeah. Give us some category ideas. We've been doing this 3 years. Yeah.
We're not famous yet. What's wrong with you guys?
Tell all your friends about us, please.
Yeah, these guys talk about shitty movies. Just kidding. But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does the theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album Music Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.